Hey parents, it's Mr. Jim here. This back to school season, give your kids the tools they need to have fun while they learn with Osmo. Osmo's Reading Adventure Learn to Read game is an interactive tool for kids 5 to 7 that help them practice and develop reading fundamentals. Because it's never too early to fall in love with reading, visit playosmo.com to check out the Reading Adventure new reader kit today. That's playosmo.com. Osmo, learning well played. Hey parents, we all know that feeling of heading back to school, right? That exciting time for new pencils and fresh starts. But what about fresh lunch ideas? Boar's Head has been going back to school for over 115 years, so they know all about packing the perfect lunchbox with uncompromising quality and all-time family favorites like Ever Roast, oven roasted chicken breast, maple glazed honey-coated ham, and American cheese. Boar's Head makes packing lunch easy and delicious. Look for Boar's Head at your local deli counter and learn more at boarshead.com/back-to-school. Boar's Head, compromise elsewhere.
Hey, it's Roy Wood Jr. Every week I sneak away from The Daily Show and bring you Roy's Job Fair, a dope podcast where we laugh about bad jobs or figure out ways to be better at the jobs we have. We've had on legends like WNBA champion Candace Parker.
Like, I was that hustler that babysat a lot. I love kids.
We all need something to eat, someone to love, and a way to provide. This podcast cannot help you with the first two. Listen to Roy's Job Fair on the iHeartRadio app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Hello friends, it's Mr. Jim and welcome back to Kid Short Stories. Do you know what makes these stories 10 times better? Yes, sharing with a friend. So right now, make sure you think of 2 friends that you want to share today's story with, and your parents can text them over the link to this episode, and you guys can listen together. Well, today's story comes to us from Hayden. Hey guys, they sent me an awesome idea for a story, and you can too. Just head over to kidshortstories.com, send me your idea, and maybe we'll turn it into an awesome adventure. Are you guys ready for today's story? Me too, let's go! It was a beautiful morning on the island as Hayden, Lee, and Neil were all waking up. Oh, as they stretched and yawned, it was Friday. And Friday was exploring day. Wait a second, they live in an island. How did they get there? Oh yes. You see, a long time ago, their whole family, they crashed on this island from their boat, and they've been shipwrecked there ever since. And so they've had to build a life there on this island. They're the only people that live on this island. If you lived on an island, how would you live? Would you want to build like a little hut on the beach, a home in the cave, or a treehouse? Treehouse? That's exactly what they did. You see, Hayden, Lee, Neil, and their baby sister Elaine and their parents, they had all built this magnificent treehouse on this island. It had taken a very long time to build, but it was totally worth it. It even had an elevator to get up and down, and it even had a secret basement. Holy smokes, that is a pretty incredible treehouse. One way better than I've ever seen. And since today was Friday, that meant it was exploring day. And what does that mean exactly? Oh yes, they have a small boat that was left over from their shipwreck. And this small boat, it can charge its electric battery from solar panels. And its charge can last about 30 minutes. So they can't go super far before they have to turn around and come back to the island to recharge it. But they've been exploring for weeks and months, and they have yet to find another island. They've been stuck on this island for a very long time, but little do they know that today is going to be a very special day for them. All right, I call being the driver today, shouted Neil. They always wanted to be the driver of the boat. That was one of the most fun jobs of that day. I call the fishing nets, shouted Lee. You mean I'm stuck with the binoculars again? Said Hayden. It's, we called it. You gotta be quick, gotta be fast, you gotta be ready at all times, said Neil. That was kind of a motto that their family had come up with over the months that they had lived on this island. Even though they're the only people on this island, you always have to be ready for the unknown. There's a lot of unknown that lives on an island. Which direction are you guys going to go today? Asked their parents. Neil scanned the horizon of the ocean. He put his right hand over his eyes to shield the sun. It was a very bright day. I think we're gonna go southeast. Yeah, southeast. We haven't been that direction many times, so maybe we'll see something this time. Okay, just make sure to keep track of your battery, and I don't want to have to swim out there and drag you back, said their dad. Roger that, said Neil. Hayden grabbed the binoculars, Lee grabbed the fishing net, and Neil was pushing the boat into the water. All right, everybody hop in. Let's go! As they waved goodbye to their little sister Elaine, who was sitting on the beach, she was digging a hole, a very deep hole. Bye, Elaine, said Lee. All right, guys, we gotta get to work. We have to find something out here. We can't be just in the middle of complete water. There's gotta be something nearby that can help us, said Neil. Bzzz. They loved the sound of the boat motor and feeling the wind against their face, and they loved Fridays. This was a very special day of the week. Yeah, I don't see anything up there, said Hayden. He was still scanning the horizon with his binoculars, as Lee was pulling in a big haul of fish from his net. Whoa, Lee, great catch, said Neil. Whoa, this one's heavy. Ugh, splat. He dumped all the fish into the boat and realized, wait a second, this is probably too much for us. We should throw a couple back. As he picked up some of the fish and tossed them back into the water, ah! Look at that! Shouted Lee. As the three kids looked over the edge of the boat, they saw something ginormous swim underneath their boat. Ah! Hayden screamed and dropped the binoculars out of his hands as he fell. Ah! Stop the boat! Stop the boat! Shouted Hayden. When I fell, the binoculars dropped out of my hands. Look, I can see him down there. The good thing about where they were was the water was super, super clear. Like you could see just really deep down, like you were looking through a piece of glass. Oh, Hayden, are you okay? Asked Neil. Yeah, I kind of hit my head on the edge of the boat, but I'll be fine. But we gotta get those binoculars back. But what about that creature that just swam under the boat? Said Lee. I don't know what that thing was, but I'm not going in there, said Lee. Neil saw a little cut forming on Hayden's head from falling on the boat. It wasn't that bad, but it was bleeding a little bit. Neil knew what he had to do. All right, I'll jump in and get the binoculars. Just, when I swim back up, get ready to pull me back into the boat before that creature eats me, said Neil. He took a deep breath and jumped into the water. Splash! Oh man, I hope Neil's gonna be okay, said Hayden. As Neil swam down to the bottom of the ocean, he could see the binoculars. They were sitting right on top of a rock. Lee and Hayden were keeping an eye out for that creature that might swim back. They didn't see it anywhere. Look! Neil's got the binoculars. He's swimming back up, shouted Lee. Get ready to grab his arms and pull him up. As Neil's head popped out of the water, he was shouting, It's coming back! Pull me in! Pull me in! Shouted Neil. Hayden and Lee grabbed onto his arms and pulled him back up into the boat. Oh, I got the binoculars, but I saw that thing. It's huge. I don't know. I couldn't tell if it was a shark or a whale or a sea monster, but it was way bigger than our boat. Let's get out of here. And that's when Neil realized that he forgot to turn off the boat. The boat had been running that whole time, and the battery was now empty. Oh no! What are these kids gonna do? How are they gonna get back to their island? They're in a boat with no battery for the motor, and there's some kind of giant creature swimming in the waters below. We'll have to wait and see what happens on the next episode of Kids Short Stories.
Hey, it's Roy Wood Jr. Every week I sneak away from The Daily Show and bring you Roy's Job Fair, a dope podcast where we laugh about bad jobs or figure out ways to be better at the jobs we have. We've had on legends like DJ Jazzy Jeff.
I was the chicken fryer, Roy Rogers.
And Carrie Champion.
Oh, he fired us. He the next day we came in and he gave us our check for the
and
week.
WNBA legend Candace Parker.
I babysat. Like, I was that hustler that babysat a lot. I love kids.
We also talk to everyday people, from preachers to politicians to porn stars. Roy's Job Fair is the perfect podcast to let you know you're not the only one that's had a bad job. We all need something to eat, someone to love, and a way to provide. This podcast will help you with one of those. New episodes every Wednesday. Listen to Roy's Job Fair on the iHeartRadio app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Hey friends, I need your help celebrating 2 birthdays. And this first birthday kid's name starts with an L and ends with an N. Do you have any friends, or do you know any names that start with an L and ends with an N? All right, let's find out. Drum roll, please. Happy birthday, Lincoln, who's turning 9 years old, is an amazing skateboarder and loves to go bike riding, play with his brothers and his dog, Mac. Oh, I love it. Happy birthday, Lincoln. I'm so glad that we got to celebrate you and your big day on the show. I hope it is the best birthday ever. And next up, this kid's name starts with an S and ends with an N. All right, get your guesses. How many of you have you gotten a name correctly? That would be pretty impressive and awesome. Well, here we go. Drum roll, please. Happy birthday, Steven! Steven is turning 6 years old, loves Legos and jokes, and is learning Spanish. Wow. I'm so impressed, Steven. Those are some really great things. I love that you're a hilarious Lego builder. That's awesome. And I'm so glad that we got to celebrate you on the show. I hope this is not only a super duper day for you, but I hope it's the best day ever. Great job. You listened all the way to the end. And you know what time it is. It's time for Kid Shoutouts. I want to say hey to Amaya and Sophia from Calgary, Locke and Wilder from Houston, Daria and Kylo from Toronto, Joey from New Zealand, Eli from Rolling Meadows, Illinois, Ryan from Japan, Penny from Victoria, BC, and Eli and Ball from Pennsylvania. I'm so glad that you're all in the Kid Short Stories family, and on our spy team, we could not stop Dr. Stinky Breath and his crew without you, my friends. I'm looking through your Apple reviews right now. I just want to read this one. It says, "We love Mr. Jim. Our 4 kids get a kick out of listening to the fun stories. It's entertaining, wholesome, and inspires creativity with our kids." Thank you so much for that review. That means the world to me. Well, you have a super duper day, and I will see you next time. Bye.